Hey, everybody. This is Ken Tucker with Changescape Web. Welcome to this edition of the Local St. Charles podcast. Today, I'm joined by Dr. Kevin Mabie of Tutor Doctors St. Charles. Hey, Kevin.
Hey, Ken. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started with Tutor Doctors.
Yeah, thanks for asking. I was a K-12 language arts teacher for 12 years. And from there, I went into school administration and was a school principal for 5 years. I started at St. Dominic High School in O'Fallon, and then moved to St. Francis Borgia High School out in Washington, Missouri.
Okay.
And it was there that I found out two things. One, I really enjoy contributing to a community. I was part of the chamber out there. I was a person who was regularly talking with businesses to figure out how we could make our school that much more effective for our students. So I discovered I really like doing that.
Right.
But I also really developed a love for professional development. Teachers are some of the most wonderful people in the world. They come with such open minds and open hearts to their jobs. And I found that I really loved helping them grow in their expertise and their ability to connect with students. So I went into full-time professional development, and I work with a few different companies still to deliver professional development nationwide. And what was missing was my chance to really keep connecting with my community. So I found my way to Tutor Doctor, and I really feel like this is a model that our region can really benefit from, and so that's why I opened a tutoring franchise here in the St. Charles County area.
All right. Yeah, cool. How long have you been a member of the St. Charles Regional Chamber?
For about a month.
All right, cool.
We
Well,
just
welcome.
opened our doors in August,
All
and
right.
so we're a newer name, a newer face in the tutoring industry here in St. Charles County. But the people I have working with me, similar to me, have a lot of tutoring experience and background, teaching experience and background, and yeah, we're happy to start making our mark here in St. Charles County and to really help some people.
Yeah, awesome. So tell me, how do you guys operate? I mean, how would somebody get started working with you guys?
Sure. Yeah. So we are a home-based tutoring company. So we like to think that that's a benefit parents like. We will come to you wherever you would like us to come.
Okay.
So often that is a family's kitchen. We go to the kitchen table and we tutor the student there. But really, we've got a lot of different options where we can come to a library near you or to another location that we agree upon. So when people want to contact us, they can reach out via our website at Tutor Doctor St. Peter's, or you can. I see the phone number there as well as on the website or on the page right now.
Yeah.
And you are welcome to reach out. And then what we do is we try to begin the process of understanding exactly where your student is. So what that means is we're not going to necessarily teach you math the way we want to teach you math. We're not going to teach you language arts the way that you want to learn language arts or learn to read, things like that. I'm sorry, the way that we want to teach you how to learn language arts or to read. Instead, what we do is we try to connect with the teacher. We have assessments we can use with the families. We try to figure out everything we can about that student before we even start. And then we try to help that student where he, she, or they are, so that we can help them start to learn and grow from where they're at that moment, on what they're working on at school at that moment.
Okay. How does so you actually work with their primary teachers in the schools that they're in?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
as the parents, obviously.
I'm sorry, say that again, Ken.
As well as the parents, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. I like to think that that's something that we do really well. We reach out to schools. We're pretty persistent, but not in, I hope, an annoying way. We make sure that we get a hold of those teachers and interact with them, and we like to give the teachers updates on how we're doing. we send an email right when we start working with the student to let let the teachers know that we are not there to to do something different than what they're already trying to do. We're trying to complement their instruction. We're trying to make their lives easier. And again, I've worked with enough teachers in my life to know, I've been a teacher, to know that it is a really challenging thing when I've got, as a high school teacher, I had 130 students and they each had their own individual needs. And so when a tutor was working with my students, I really felt like they were there to assist me. We're helping our student to learn and grow, and we were working on it together. And that's what I hope teachers see Tutor Doctor as, is a company that is there to assist them, to complement their instruction. Again, we're not going to teach it our own way. We're going to teach it the way that they're learning it in class right now, so that ultimately that student comes away competent but confident. And then that's really our goal.
You probably have a really good way to diagnose what somebody needs the most. Typically, when they start working with you, do they come to you and you go through an assessment and you say, these are the areas you really need to work on? Or I'm sure in some cases too, some students or some parents might come to you and say, look, he's really struggling, or they're really struggling in math. Let's focus on that first. How does that work?
Great question. So often, more often than not, the parent comes and says, my student has a failing grade in this class. Can you help him or her pass? So we take it right from there, and we recognize what they've been working on. We actually talk to teachers about a desire to foreshadow what's coming up. So when they learn about a concept in class, it's not the first time they've heard it, and it makes them more able to participate in class, more likely to be engaged, things like that. But I want to kind of underscore an important point here. It's not always failing students who come to us. Often it's a student who has a B, and mom and dad really want to help that student get an A. It's a student who has had straight A's, but really wants to get into that prestigious college. And even just in our first few months of being open here, we've got a whole gamut of different varieties of students. I mean, we are working with students on reading, students who are in elementary school, really challenged by reading. I've got some great reading tutors helping them. But then all the way up to one of our students is learning calculus BC, and I've got one of our excellent math tutors working with her, and her goal is not to get an A in the class. She's gonna get an A in the class. She's that smart. But what we're gonna do is hopefully help her to do better on some of her on some of the assessments, like the ACT for math and pieces like that, where she is going to really hope to blow some colleges away and be able to get into that top-notch college she's seeking.
Yeah. Do you work with any soft skills as well? I mean, I know a lot of things that I feel like, inhibited myself when I was, in junior high and college was, I was a pretty shy kid. And I'm a pretty introverted person in general. So, it took me, and now I do a lot of public speaking, and it's, it still wears me out, but it's something that I'm very comfortable doing. But, I was terrified when I was a kid. Do you help overcome, help students overcome those kinds of anxieties and concerns?
Absolutely. I'm really so glad that you were transparent to share your own feeling from school. Sure. But B, just asking about that is an important piece. We are absolutely helping with soft skills, and one of the ways we do that is we are always one-to-one. They're again, we go to your kitchen and tutor you. So unless you as the parent are putting multiple children down at the table with us, we are one-on-one working with your students. So our goal is to help with those soft skills. We've discovered that often students who are working with us who are maybe struggling at school, it's not that they're not smart. It's not that they can't understand the topic. It is that they are just struggling with the challenges that school and the structure of school bring to them. So we help them with organization. We help them with setting priorities. We also are, we really like to think that we're selling confidence at Tutor Doctor. We want students to feel like they are confident in the subject because they have taken the time to prepare the right way. And so, absolutely, we're working with all of those soft skills as well.
Yeah.
We also use a model at Tutor Doctor where we are, I work with our tutors to be able to recognize that anxiety and to figure out different ways that we can support those students and help them to feel supported while they're working with our tutor, and then to feel like they've got those supports in place when they get back to school. So it's really a relationship building exercise that we're doing with every session, as much as it is an academic session.
Yeah. How do you select your tutors?
Good question. So we have, well, number one, I should say that my history in the education business and this area has allowed me to bring on board several people who are either retired teachers that I used to work with, people who are really strong at their subjects, and I knew it going in when I started this business, and I have their help. I also I'm really, out there looking for people who are either earning their teaching degree right now. So I've got some younger people who are, going to be teachers, or maybe they're just starting out. When I first started out as a teacher, I needed something else aside from the salary that I had, just to kind of supplement that a little bit. And tutoring was a great way to use my expertise to do that. So I've got some beginning teachers. I also have some people working with us who are not in education, but they are people who are just really passionate about giving back to the community by using their subject area expertise. So, for instance, I have one woman who works for one of the larger credit card companies in the world that's based in O'Fallon, and she works with us in the evenings once a week, and she tutors a few of our students in some very high level math. So just finding people who have that passion is my first goal. Again, I know some of them from my past, but I've also looked around the area, and I've been able to attract some other talented people as well.
Yeah. You had mentioned that you've been involved in professional development as well. Is that something you do for your tutors as well, or is that something that you give back to the broader educational community?
Yeah, a little bit of both. So I do work with a few different trainings or a few different companies that I do trainings for. And when I'm not working with Tutor Doctor, that's something that I do as well still. So, for instance, I work with a company called Crisis Prevention Institute, where we provide trainings to help teachers recognize escalated behaviors in the classroom, and then we help them to de-escalate those behaviors and have strategies to do that. That's something that I work with the tutors on prior to working with any students who have any sort of challenging behavior history, or maybe it might be a disability that makes it a little bit more challenging working with that student who might have a behavior and might be unexpected to a tutor. I want to train them so that they are able to recognize those behaviors and to be able to help those students to stay on track and get the most out of their session. I also work with a company called National School Reform Faculty, and that company provides protocol trainings, where really collaboration trainings, where we're teaching adults how to work together with one another, how to generate the wisdom that they have in the room. And then I work with a company called Top 20 Training, where they are really about helping adults to access the top 20% of their brain, and to be able to really reframe anything that happens in front of them as a positive opportunity rather than as a challenge. So number one, I'm certainly working with our tutors to have the different skills and mindsets that come from those trainings. But number two, I do want the community to know that Tutor Doctor, we tutor students, we tutor kids, but we can also tutor your business. And that's one of the reasons I'm part of the chamber is to help people recognize that if you're hoping to get adults collaborating more efficiently and effectively, we can help with that. Tutor Doctor can help with that through our partnership with the National School Reform Faculty. If you are a company that is trying to help any individual, to de-escalate from challenging behaviors or to recognize when somebody is in their emotional brain, we can help with that. Often companies they think about reaching out to one of the nationwide, they think when they reach out to the Crisis Prevention Institute, they're reaching out to a company that's based in Milwaukee and somebody will come to town and do that training. I want through Tutor Doctor, our businesses in St. Charles County to know there's a guy right here. He can do that training and he can also come by and help us out, down the road if that happens, or if there's something that they need some help with. That kind of thing. So I really, that's my vision for Tutor Doctor, is that we are more than a tutor for school age students. We are a tutor for businesses. We are contributing to the community in a lot of different ways.
Well, I mean, I'm a big believer in lifelong learning, and my undergraduate degree was in philosophy, so I learning and doing what I do in digital marketing. I mean, it's constant learning all the time. So regardless of the type of business that you're in, you're always going to need to be able to refresh or complement some skills that you've created, just because the world is not going to stand still. It's going to change, and the pace of change can accelerate pretty rapidly in certain industries for sure.
Yeah, I love that you have that mindset, of just that continued growth, that continued, open-mindedness to the next thing that's coming down the pike. I know, and I've been told by, in some of my conversations with people at the chamber, that when they think of professional development, they think of professional development, and I got to go sit through this training that I'm going to just wish I had those hours back at the end. And I want you to know that that my aim anytime I walk into a facility, whether it's a school or it's another business, for the training purpose, is to engage people and to really make it about what they're working on right now, so that they can see how that training is going to make a difference in their lives tomorrow. It's going to make a difference in the way that they go about their business, make it more effective, more efficient, more fun. So hopefully, and again, I don't want to get too off track on the training aspect, but I hope that that's fun. I hope that our tutoring sessions are fun. Like it's meant to be an opportunity to learn and grow and to feel good, as we understand things and build confidence.
Yeah, absolutely. So you work with kids of all ages, or preschool, or pre-K as well, or?
Yes. We have, I have one 4-year-old student that we're working with right now. So I guess we go as young as 4. We also have an elderly gentleman who is one of our students. He is a retiree who, like we just talked about, is hoping to still learn and grow in some skills. He is, for instance, working with, he wants to do more with technology. He wants to understand how to use some of the different technological tools that he did not use in his job before he retired. But now he wants to learn and grow. So we've got somebody tutoring him in that. So really, from 4 to 68 are the ages that we're serving right now. And we certainly could go younger and we could go older. We want to help anybody in the community who is needing some sort of assistance, just having success in a class, or just feeling successful as a human.
Yeah. Do you create any custom programs? I know you talked about trying to still stay in alignment with what's happening in the classroom if you're working with a student that's in a classroom, but the person that you just mentioned who's looking to build some computer skills, you probably have to create some of your own curriculum for that, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. So we really, I guess I really like to think that we can do both. First and foremost, if there's a curriculum that student is on, let's try to stick to that. That's the quickest way to helping that student feel successful, helping that student understand. However, often, I mean, young readers, they come to us without a teacher who's already teaching them. If mom or dad, have a very, young child that they're trying to help learn to read, we can do that. There's not a curriculum that student already has, probably. But we've got experienced reading tutors who can help that person learn and grow from scratch. Whereas you're right, with some subjects, when people come to us and say, hey, can you help us with this? Yeah, we can. And my background as a school administrator, I believe, helps me put together a pretty strong curriculum in unison with the tutor. We'll collaborate and we'll figure out a plan that's going to help that person get from the point they're at right now to the point they hope to be at in the future.
Yeah. I actually, I mean, I'm a little bit of a nerd, but I actually kind of like to build curriculum.
Yeah.
I started teaching a class at the community college on social media marketing back. We started it in 2009, and it took a year or so to get through the process. But we built our own curriculum, and that was a blast. And so, I love problem solving. It sounds like that's exactly what you guys do.
Yeah, I love that you talked about how you were working with others to do that. A lot of times, again, curriculum building. You said you're a bit of a nerd, because you like that, but it can be a lot of fun, and I guess that's the approach. That's what we want to bring to St. Charles County, is that learning can be fun. It can be an opportunity to grow, and that's gonna make everybody just feel that much more confident, competent, ready to attack the next challenge that comes our way. And if we can work together with others to do that, it's even better.
So you guys don't have your own facility that people come to, is that correct? You go to people's homes, or if they don't want to do that, you can go work with them in a public setting like a public library or something.
Sure. Yeah. So that's the tutor doctor model. It's not a brick and mortar model. And we are, one of our slogans is we bring learning home. And that's a two-way two-piece thing. One, we bring learning to your home, so that mom and dad can be making dinner, while tutoring's happening. They don't have to go sit in a parking lot and wait for the tutoring to get finished and then bring the child back home.
Right.
We're there, and it makes it fit into our busy schedules just a little bit better as well. So that's one way we bring learning home. But we also bring learning home because we believe our students, they already have all of these thoughts circling. They're just trying to make sense of whatever concept is in front of them. We bring it home. We help them to really understand that concept. So that's our motto, and yeah, that's just the way we do business. Is we like to go to you rather than you coming to us.
Yeah. I'm currently doing a project with a Head Start organization in Las Vegas, and one of the cool things that Head Start's always done is they have a program where they go into homes and start working with pre-K kids and helping the parents become more effective in working with their children, throughout their educational paths. Do you guys work with parents at all to help train them and make them a valuable resource in the educational strategy for a child?
Sure. Well, a couple of things with that. One piece I want you to know is that after our sessions with our students, we keep the parents in the loop. And it's really easy to stay in the loop when the tutoring's happening in your home as well. Right. But aside from just the interactions our tutors will have with the family after the session is over, our tutors are creating session reports and communicating with the parent exactly what was worked on, what progress was made, pieces like that. So that's one way that we work with parents. And we believe that parents know their children best. So we are trying to take their input on a regular basis and make sure that our tutoring is meeting the needs that those parents are communicating. At the same time, it's a funny thing that you ask about partnering with parents, because that's something that's come up in some of my interactions with other business leaders around the area, and school leaders. It has to do with, can we train parents to be able to do some of those things that I talked about a moment ago? It might be, training or helping parents, recognize when their child is having some sort of escalated behavior. It might be training parents and helping their kids to look at things through a more positive mindset. Some of the different things I talked about training businesses in earlier. Could we do that for parents? Absolutely. And so that's a goal that I have down the road, is to be able to find some spaces to invite parents to come in and to learn a little bit about some strategies that they can bring home that maybe Tutor Doctor provided them. And that would be a great way for me to, again, contribute to this community that I care about very deeply.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I think it's important for people to realize it's not saying that you're not doing a good job as a parent. It's just trying to give you some different tools and insights that maybe you don't have yourself, because you're not in a profession that does this all the time and has a broader scope. So, it should never be seen as a confrontational thing, I don't think.
Right. I'm glad you said that. I want people to know I'm a parent myself. I have 4 children, between 12 and 24, and so I've been through, some of what it is to raise kids, and I know that I don't know everything, or even a smidge of the things that I wish I knew. But so I'm always looking for ways to learn and grow and to be the best parent I can be. So sure, I hope that that's a way that Tutor Doctor can contribute and come across as not a challenge, like you have to learn more, parents, sort of approach, but more of a, hey, we're here and we want to learn and grow together. And one of the things that I would expect in a session with parents, would be that the wisdom of that mom over there and this dad over here would contribute to the session just as much as the facilitators' contributions. So definitely want to be seen as a partner with parents, whether it's in that one-on-one tutoring sessions or beyond that. And Ken, if you don't mind me just adding, I hope that's how teachers see us too. I think that there's I think sometimes, when you're a teacher, it can be a little off-putting. If that student is working with a tutor, that's one way you can frame that, is you can look at that and say, do the parents think that I'm not doing well enough? And that's not the case at all. In fact, I bet that teacher is doing an amazing job. And so we really want teachers to frame tutoring in a partnership sort of way as well. We know that you've got X number of hours in your day and you've got this many students, and we want to help you have success with this particular student. We want the student to feel successful, and we want you to feel successful when that student is understanding the concepts. And again, I not to get too far off track, but I was a teacher, and I had 130 students at one time, and there were some students that I provided tutoring for because they were really struggling. I did it for free because I thought that was the right way to do it, because they were in my class. I thought it was a conflict of interest to collect money outside of school hours. But it was one of those things where I would stay until 5 or 5:30 sometimes, tutoring some students who were really struggling. I couldn't stay until midnight. I had a family at home. And so we know that teachers are doing everything they can to provide that one-on-one support for students. We are assisting beyond what they can. There's more manpower out there, more people out there who can help. And Tutor Doctor is bringing those people into the community, into the homes to help students for the teachers.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, Kevin, I enjoyed talking with you and learning more about Tutor Doctor. So again, I've got the website up on the screen right now, as well as the phone number. Any last thoughts that you want to share with people as they're starting to get started, or starting to consider looking for hiring a tutor?
Sure. Real quick, Ken, there's never a bad time to hire a tutor. Here as we get into the second half of first semester, you might recognize that there are some challenges your students are having. You might recognize there's some goals that you would like that student to, or your son or daughter to achieve, this school year. We hope you'll reach out. We can definitely pick up wherever they are and help them get to where you're hoping to be. Through some powerful and effective sessions with your kids.
Okay, awesome. Thanks so much. I enjoyed talking with you a lot. Thanks.
You too, Ken. Thank you.
All right, thanks.